Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, welcome back, and I just got done watching the Twitch reveal stream for Destiny 2's second expansion, Warmind, and I'm pretty stoked, man. And I thought I could kind of give some thoughts of what I saw, and also a real quick run through, a real like kind of bullet point type thing, make this real short and sweet in case you guys missed it. It starts off with a couple developers. Vicarious Visions dev is there, and they made it clear what they wanted to accomplish with Warmind, and again, that's May 8th. Looking for new things to do for the player, new things to play, going into endgame, things like that. It's the next step of where they want to take Destiny. So they kind of teased the new endgame activity, private matches, some of the things going on with PvP, and again, we're going to go all over that in a second. But we're going to be going to Mars. The polar ice caps of Mars are melting, and they're uncovering a time capsule. Rasputin has awoken, setting off a chain of events. There's war stats raining down everywhere, and some things were said about Rasputin, but I do believe it's going to be better just to play the game and get the information for ourselves. The campaign mission is going to be on Mars. There's Frozen Hive with these ice caps. There's a Horde public event that they tease, the Escalation Protocol, and we're going to talk about that in depth. It's one of the most important things about the reveal. And with Warmind, Anna Bray is being introduced. She serves a really important role. She's your friend, your vendor. She unravels the relationship with how this expansion goes. They kind of break to a prologue with Anna Bray going into Warmind, or the expansion itself. Pretty cool. Then we have two developers, Jacob Bitton and Ben Womack. They talk about Escalation Protocol, calling it an in-game activity, and the goal is make a challenging in-game experience that players will want to come back to, and again, feel challenged. That's sort of the answer to players saying that the game can be too easy at times, so they decided to make it challenging and difficult. They say it's like public events, but you can start it at any time. Essentially, you can just walk up to it and farm it and hope people kind of join you. It's a horde type mode with waves of hive. Each wave gets bigger and bigger and more difficult. And at the end, there's a final boss. There's 7 waves. On the 7th one, that's when that unique boss comes out. They say there's a total of 5 total bosses that's going to rotate every week. So some of the bosses do have unique items to them, and that's very cool. Items that drop in this activity are the only place that you can get them. And as they're playing it, you can see some of the new weapons, like the shotgun right here. You get a melee first, it adds a buff. You deal bonus damage with a shotgun after you do the melee. They briefly talk about a sniper rifle that has a perk called box breathing. You aim down sights long enough, you get a huge damage boost, and that weapon also has triple tap, so really cool stuff to look forward to and try to get from this public event type horde mode. There's Rasputin themed armor that can only be obtained from the Escalation Protocol. And they go through it and like a hive sword comes up. They say that sword looks and acts just like Destiny 1. You can sword skate, things like that. Once you're done with wave 3 and 5, regular chests come out just like regular public events. And it's hard enough that you do need coordination, they say. Maybe you need, okay, Celestial Nighthawk, we have the rigs, we have some melting, a whole bunch of different things. You have to kind of coordinate getting into these hard engagements. And just like the sword, there's another one called the Valkyrie. It's a spear, you can throw it, smash it, and it's only used in the event from what I saw. It could be in other areas, but it looks pretty cool. I've always wanted to throw a spear at something. That's one thing we were talking about with the Arc Strider when Destiny 2 was being revealed. It's like, you know, just please let me throw it. So it's looking like you can with this. Now, they show off the emote wheel a little bit. That's pretty cool. And again, Cosmo's using that new shotgun, man, the melee buff, like you hit him with the melee. That thing rips once you get that buff going, man. Really excited. And these Warmind weapons, or that's what I call them, because they really are. They're Warmind based. It reminds me of the Outbreak Prime. It's one of my favorite weapons in Destiny 1. The sights really remind me of that. So here's the deal with the Escalation Protocol. Here's my thoughts. It's very important, right? Because one of the things missing from Destiny is being able to go in with your friends, anywhere from 2 to 6, or whatever it is, 2 to 5, and just mindlessly play and have fun. We used to go into Nightfalls, right, and Strikes, farming for Grasp of Malak. We used to just go in there for 2 or 3 hours and just talk and have a good time farming the weapon. So with this, it's something to go into that's always going to have unique rewards, and each week it's beneficial to do it because the last boss does have a very specific good award to him. And not only that, with all the armor for all the characters, there's a lot of farming that can be done with this. To get all 3 of your characters through, to get a full set of gear, to have all the weapons and whatever they throw into the mix, it's very important for the game. Then we have another raid layer, so that adds another raid layer. So the game's building, right? And I'm just very impressed with something like this. The game needed something like this. And it might not be everyone's cup of tea. Honestly, I like horde modes. Like I'm playing Save the World right now in Fortnite and I love it to death. It's just something to sit down with your friends, kick back, play the game, get some cool rewards. It was just very, very needed. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And then they start revealing PvP. So ranks and private matches, 2 ranks, the Valor rank progression goes up when you complete matches, and when you win it goes up even more. Quick play and the rotating playlist like Iron Banner, I think, are going to have that. And then the glory rank. It's a competitive playlist. Performance is going to be about wins. It goes up when you win, it goes down when you lose. Now, there are losing streaks and winning streaks. So if you get on a winning streak, you're going to get like a capped number that's going to go up every single time you win after that. You get more kind of experience for your wins, but there's also a losing streak. If you go on a big, bad losing streak, it also has a multiplier that caps and it just goes down even lower and lower and lower. And I think that's a good thing. It gives something for you to strive for, and there actually is something to strive for. When Season 3 starts, you're going to go to Shaxx. He's going to have a welcome package with some emblems, things like that. And they say all the rewards are going to be right there, and they're going to have challenges attached to them. So maybe it's going to be pulse rifle kills, hand cannon headshots. There's going to be weapons for completing ranks, and each season has their very own specific special weapon. And they unveiled the first one. It's a pulse rifle. It has a new perk called the Desperado perk. It has Outlaw, and they say that there's no debuff timer on that to reactivate it, so you can just keep going and chaining outlaw kills. But what it does, Desperado, it increases the rate of fire. It's called the Rhetoric Claymore, and they say it's going to be very hard to earn, and if somebody has this, you know what they went through to get it, and that's something that Destiny needs, man, and this pulse rips, okay? I'm going to be playing this game just to get this pulse. It reminds me of like the original Hopscotch Pilgrim, but with reactive reload once you start going in, because you're doing massive damage at an incredible rate of fire. It looks like an amazing weapon. John Wisniewski and Josh Hamrick come up, the men, the myths, the legends. They talk about sandbox tuning and their goals for exotic weapons to make them feel more powerful, that power fantasy. Focus on getting them stronger, faster, better. And they talk about some weapons that are getting buffs. So we have the Fighting Lion. They give you more ammo. It does 100 damage. And they change the way the grenade explodes. Not necessarily an impact damage, it's more for explosive damage. And if you get a kill with the grenade portion, it drops a special ammo brick on the ground. Pretty cool. The Graviton Lance honestly is going to be one of the best weapons in the game, and we kind of know what they did, made it a 2-round burst. The Firefly-esque perk that it does now is just amazing. They talk about the Risk Runner. They increase the arc damage resistance, and that's enabled for PvP, so you take half damage from arc sources, and the Arc Overdrive perk enables when the weapon is stowed, right? So you could get hit with, let's say, a Uriel's Gift, and you'll see the perk on the screen, you can bring out the Risk Runner and start dealing the damage, but you only get the damage resistance if you have the weapon out. So pretty cool thing to balance that out. They have the Skyburner's Oath. The ADS behaves like it always has. Explosive rounds have also been added to the weapon. Now hipfire, they have slowed down projectiles, kind of like you're lobbing them, but they have tracking, and that's, I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, that's cool and all. I've always felt that tracking, like especially when we think about the colony, you know, it's kind of in a rough spot in PvP. I don't know. It's definitely going to be cool in the PvE aspect, but PvP, we'll just see how it goes. It looks like it could be very strong. They talk about Hard Light. You hold down the reload button to change the damage types, just like the sniper rifle. And every time the bullet ricochets, it now does double damage. So I can only imagine of what you could try to do with this thing, especially with some of the choke points in Destiny. There are a couple of walls that hit directly of where you need to go in a choke point. I'm going to be messing around with that a little bit. They talk about the Crimson, and they try to replicate a high damage hand cannon. So what they did, they updated the precision damage, they upped it, and they kind of slowed down the rate of fire to kind of balance that out. And they say that it handles kind of clunky, kind of sluggish, which as it should, if they're going to make it kind of aggressive. And honestly, I don't really mind the Crimson now. It has a lot of utility with what it does for your recovery, so I'm all for it, man. But all in all, and I've always said this, right? This expansion right here was already set in stone. You know, most of us kind of got it when we got the game, you know, the season pass. Expansions 1 and 2. We have the Comet coming in September, which is one of the most important parts of Destiny's future, but I think right now, and I've always said, you need a good base, a good nucleus to build off of, and they're doing that. They've done that with making the game a little bit faster. Maybe they can adjust time to kill, things like that in PvP, but right now, it gives something for everyone to do, right? We have this PvE aspect. It makes the PvE guys happy. It's something they can farm. The PvP guys too, because they have to go in there and get certain gear. Like, it just works. And I'm going to end with one more thing, and I've said it in podcasts, I've said it in numerous videos over the years, and it's kind of my feedback for Destiny. You know, there's all these certain things that are going on in the world of Destiny, and things that they want to fix, they're taking feedback on. Okay, the time to kill needs to be a little bit better, and there's going to be some in-game activities, there needs to be this, there needs to be that. That's going to get talked about, that's going to get fixed. I 100% believe that. Some way or another, it's going to get worked on. But what I want for this game, and I honestly think the game needs for its future, is the weekend playlist like we had in Halo 3. I'm so firm on that, guys, because what that did in Halo 3, you had double XP weekends, and they would announce it midweek, and then the entire community would get excited for it. And that's what I think would happen in Destiny. It's something to bring the entire community in, PvE, PvP, you know, the guys that only like doing the raids, the guys that play solo. It's something to bring everyone in to get excited for, and it's going to be fun game modes, and it's either going to be double experience, it's going to be, you know, a certain amount gives you a Bright Ingram, whatever it is, maybe it's a certain weapon, but these playlists would be something like Sparrow Racing. It'd be something like in the Strike playlist, like Grunt Birthday Party, maybe you shoot their head and confetti comes out, just something fun, right? PvP could be things like a traditional Capture the Flag, or Oddball, or King of the Hill. It could be Fiesta, where you just spawn with random weapons and you go from there. You spawn with a random subclass with a super and you go from there. It could be anything. The whole point is to have a big reward, whether it be double XP, whether it be a weapon, whatever it is, to bring everyone in to play it and also have a good time, right? It's kind of just a fun, quirky game mode, whatever it is. They can do something with strikes. Like, the possibility is endless. The game needs that, and I'm not sure like that's getting conveyed, and I really hope that that's taken seriously, because it did wonders for Halo, in my opinion, because you got that double win. You know, that's essentially what it was. It was a double win when you got a win in it, so it could really help out your combat record. But in Destiny 2, again, it would be about community building. It's something that is fun. It's something that, you know, you're gonna have your rotating things like Iron Banner and Crimson Doubles, whatever it is, but each weekend you can still have this one thing, and you only have to make like 10 of them or whatever it is, and just rotate them out along with Iron Banner, along with all these things, and you know, just give a sandbox for the players to play in. I think that'd be very beneficial. I mean, again, I'm just gonna say it one more time. I think that the game really needs that. So that's going to be it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Tell me your thoughts on the Warmind expansion. I think that there's a lot to be excited about, and there's still a lot of things that we know. Like, we saw Suros in there, so there's going to be exotics, there's going to be new weapons, there's going to be new perks. The game needs it, and I'm very excited. So, again, one more time, let me know in the comment section, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.